The second boss you'll likely face in Demon's Souls Remake is the Tower Knight, and no matter what build you are, the strategy is pretty much the same at the beginning. You want to go up top and you want to clear out all the archers from either side before facing the boss down below. Be careful not to be hit by the magical projectile that the Tower Knight fires while you're doing this. It's pretty hard to get hit unless you're like hanging right over the edge, so just make sure that you get the archers down, sprint quickly to the next one, and so on, and never stay still for very long. There are a couple strategies here depending on what build you have, but let's start with melee first. If you're a melee build, what you want to do is you want to try and get behind the Tower Knight and whack away at his Achilles there until he falls down backwards on the ground. Get out of the way when this happens. When he starts to fall over, you should recognize this after one time, and then get to his head and start whacking away two-handed with your melee weapon if you can to deal the most damage as quickly as possible. You're going to repeat this strategy over and over, probably 2 or 3 times before you get him down if you're a melee build, and you just need to watch out for the shield slams and the swipes that he does, and try and stay behind him if you can. Now, if you're a ranged build, like a mage, or maybe if you're using a bow, you really have 2 options. One, you can go for the ankles and target them in order to knock him down, and then you can unload into his head with a melee weapon, or you can use your magic spells on his head to deal increased damage. Or the other strategy you can do is you can just lock on his head to begin with, and just fire projectiles into his head from distance, and try and deal the most damage you can with per shot. Now, this is a great way to conserve mana because you don't have a lot of mana, particularly early in the game, or arrows if you don't have a lot of arrows, but it's harder to hit the head while he's moving around and not laying on the ground, so the choice is yours. Just know that you can do it either way.